I'm Chaya Rivka Zwolinski, and this is BRIBreslov.org. This week, a student called me up and was very upset. She's a university professor, and she has begun recently to learn Breslov and to learn Torah. And she read that Rebbe Nachman said to not read books of philosophy or secular wisdom. And of course, other religions are included in that automatically. And she said, how can I live in a world in which all knowledge isn't open to me? She said, this is my life, is the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. I don't want to shut any doors. So what does Rebbe Nachman mean when he tells us, don't read books of secular philosophy, don't read books of secular wisdom, don't even read Jewish books of philosophy if they have certain parameters? So what is that about? It's about the idea of protecting your emunah, your faith, and your bitachon, your trust in Hashem. Because when these books pose questions that we can't answer, and questions which lead us to deny Hashem's existence, God forbid, or to just deny His involvement in our life, God forbid, we open the door to the destruction of our faith and our trust in God. So how can this really affect us? So I'll tell you. I've been reading some Jewish history for a variety of projects I need to research. And I'm reading world history. And I also found a book of the history of the Jews in the world, written by a secular scholar. It's a very well done book with a lot of details in it, but the scholar is absolutely someone who does not believe in Hashem. He has no faith. He has no emunah. He certainly doesn't believe that our Torah was given to Moshe at Sinai. And as I'm reading the book, which is providing me with useful information for this project, I start to feel depressed, a little anxious every time I open the book. And I began to realize that I was reading through this author's eyes the Jewish people's national journey in such a way where Hashem was removed from the picture. Of course this is depressing. And his way of looking at things was so material, cause and effect, with no room for clearly, if nothing else, the supernatural way in which we've survived in this world, that I found that I really had to set the book aside. I was much better off reading books about world history that didn't mention the Jews, so that I could then find out our connection on my own to what was going on. I could read Jewish sources only. So just this history book really affected me. And I wanted to share that because I don't know that we spend enough time taking a look at what we put into our minds. We spend a lot of time taking a look at what we put into our bodies. Are we getting the right nutrients? Are we eating clean? Are we eating too many calories? Are we taking the right supplements? And what we forget to do is remember that our minds are delicate instruments as well. Sometimes even Jewish sources can cause one to have doubts or feel uncomfortable or cause one to ask questions that can't possibly be answered. This isn't shutting the door on wisdom. This is embracing Torah wisdom as a worldview that can't be in competition with many smaller worldviews that are much narrower and that leave Hashem out of the picture. Chas v'shalom. So think about what you read, think about what you watch, think about the music you listen to, and think about the people you listen to. And try as much as possible to give yourself a steady, good diet of information and inspiration that contains emunah and bitachon, and is only going to straighten you and keep you positive and connected to Hashem. May you have a day in which you use your discernment when reading a book.